Hi everyone, welcome back to a really strange 8th of October. Look at it, the sun's out. It's 26 degrees. 26 degrees in October. That's mad. It's mad. Anyway, big game today. Gunners, come on. Man City, but that's not what you're here for. You're here because we rescued a tree. I'm sorry, I can't see anything. It's so bright in October. So, little ficus. We're going to do like a little documentary, diary, video. So I'm going to take you back in time to how we got it, what we did. I'm sorry, I really can't see anything, it's so bright. So the story is, I went to the gym, and then on my way home to the gym I went to the garden centre and I spotted this little ficus in the corner. I'm seeing everything and I really can't see, I'm sorry. So seeing this little ficus, spoke to the lady. She gave me a great deal on it. It was literally pennies on the pound, or pound on the pennies, whatever that saying is. Purchased it, and I'll show you right now. As you can see, very sorry state for herself. All the plant is very crusty. It's been neglected. The soil is very dry. I have done a scratch test, so you can see she's still alive. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to get rid of all these dead leaves as such. Just going to go through the rest of the tree, quickly doing this. Okay, and then second of all, I'm just going to get a bucket of rainwater that I collected last night as we've had heavy rain, and we're going to dunk her. I'm just going to leave her sit for a good couple of hours. And she's that dry, she's trying to float. So all I'm going to do is just leave her, and we're going to come back to her once she's done. In fact, no I'm not. What we're going to do is we're going to come back to her in a couple of weeks and see how she's looking. See you in the future. It's been 6 weeks since I picked up that ficus, so I want to show you where we're at with it. Six weeks on, and we are pushing some growth. Let's get my hand behind there so you can see. Check it out. Not doing too bad. So we've got a bit of growth pushing out here, and if I take you in just here, just pushing there, if you can see as well, and then around at the back, just on the side here we've got a little shoot, and again further towards the back just here. So she's no longer soggy. We've got a little bit of fertilizer going on, so that is just the blood bone that I was talking about in the fertilizer videos. Didn't put much else in there, so all we're doing is keeping her watered. She's no longer in the greenhouses, so she's out in full sun with the rest of the small trees on the benches. So they're now in full sun. All the other stuff died back, as we can see. It's no longer got any of the green that was left. Everything's died back, so we've had some few cuts. I neatened up the dead bit that was here, cut into that, and then we trimmed up some of the dead bits. But it looks like we're going to have to cut a little bit further back. But for now, just going to let her push some more growth. Then in a couple of weeks we're going to come back to it again, and I'll show you where we're up to. But yeah, so far so good. So I'll see you again in a couple more weeks. Future Christoph will be coming to you soon. Now them couple more weeks led into a couple more months, I'm afraid, because the clip I got after that corrupted. So that was just a couple of the shoots sprouting out. So where are we up to? This is where we're up to. Ta-da! So she's doing quite well. So we've got lots of shoots that I've selected, that we need to select now, sorry. Yeah, so quite healthy. So in today's video, what we will be doing is, if I can get you in close, we've got a lot of these branches that I've all shot from the same selection, from same section, not same selection. So what we want to do is we want to just remove some of them and select the ones that we do want to keep. So we want to keep it from one branch per place, so we don't get swelling. And then all the dead stuff, I can get you in. So this sort of, that's just falling off really, look at that. So any of the bigger stuff like this that's dead, what we want to do is just want to remove that. And the same again for this sort of stuff over here. So I wanted to get you on the bench and we'll have a look in that properly. And I also want to get it out of this pot, out of this crappy soil. I've already started getting the pot prepared, which will be going in this nice green pot. I've already started it up, as you can see, because we've all seen a repot done before, and you're going to see plenty again in the spring, because that's the time for all of the deciduous stuff. So yeah, and then once that's done, you've seen all the previous stuff or the setup on the inside. So again, it will go in for the rest of the season, overwintering, growing in a nice little setup. Yeah. Okay, so let's get you on the bench. Let's start off by giving you a look at this nasty cruddy soil. So this stuff is just grim. It is just awful. Anyway, we'll have a look around the tree. So you can see these dead bits. These have just got to be neatened up. These have just all died back. And then we sprouted out pretty much here, there and everywhere. So you can see these clusters. I can just move up. You can see that they've all just come out from everywhere. So I just want to go in. If we're going to keep a cluster or anything out of that cluster, we just want to take all the stuff that we don't want and then just keep one. So if we were going to keep this one here, just take everything else away and leave that one to grow, and that's going to be our branch in the future. If not, we just remove it all because that's not where we want the branch coming from. So I think, where shall we go? Possibly this branch itself. So this branch here that died back, and we've got loads of growth here, we could even remove it all completely in all this growth and then start with this one and then develop this as a branch because it's neater. We would remove that completely, even though it's got loads of growth that's all here, and then develop this as a branch, which would make the tree line really neat and tidy, so that'd be gone, and then you've got a nice clean branch here. The tree's strong enough now because there's plenty of growth. Let's give it the vigor right through the tree. This is the time now. It's really healthy. Once we get the soil out as well, and we put it in fresh soil, I will clear up the roots and have a look, see what we're working with, as it looks like this one here is growing through. So hopefully we can just bring this outwards and reposition it, and the same with this one as well, it's growing across. So yeah, hopefully we can just reposition them. Everything else seems to be alright, although some of these are fusing together now. I can't do nothing about that, and they fuse to the tree as well completely. So these are pretty much stuck in place. I mean, it looks nice, no drama, but the decisions are there to be made. As you can see, everything just... See, the tree basically just pooed itself and threw out growth everywhere in a hope to survive, and that it has done very well. Yeah. So now Seeing as we've just talking about it, I think that's my first protocol, is to remove this branch. So before that, I've got the same one here. So I've got this new branch just on here, and then above it I've got a dead one, and then on the side, just coming from the top of it, I've got a new branch, but I'm going to remove that completely as well as the new shoot. So I'm going to start there and then possibly work my way up into this section and then make that decision. So let's get my snips and remove the dead bit. So now if we want this branch keeping in the future as a branch, we'll keep it now. We'll let it do its thing, and then if it's in the design later on, we've got it there. And if not, later on down the line we can remove it, but for now we're going to need this one just to continue for it to allow it to grow and do its thing. As I say, we're going to be removing quite a bit, so we can't be removing everything, shocking the tree too much. Remove these dead bits. Needs an up. So this whole branch here, this is completely dead. So this one has to go. So this branch underneath we're just going to take out. If I spin it round, oh, sorry, shaky cam. So it's got two that's popped out from the same bit. We're just going to remove this lower growth here. I'll swap hands with the camera. Pull out a second, and there we go, snip off. And now you can see, come on, focus, focus, focus. Just the one. And then whether I keep that in the future is a decision later down the line, but it's just one branch in one spot. Same decision we're going to make in this. We've got two branches here. I'm going to remove this side one because this is straight. Allow the tree to do its thing. Come on. And I can't seem to get it nicely on this angle. There you go. So there we go. So that's just one branch coming from that selection. Let's move this top one because it's not a leaf, it's actually coming out as well. There you go. So if we want that branch there, it will thicken up, but it's a single branch. Again, we'll make that decision later on. But for now, it's one branch from one place. We'll do the same here for the time being. So we don't want the ones going upwards. Let's get rid of them. So this is the branch. This is the branch we were on about. Do I just get rid of it all, or do I grow? I mean, it's there. So looking in it now, this is the dead branch. We could use this as our continuation. So I'll tell you what, we'll clean it up first. We'll remove the bottom branches. We've got two here that are bottom branches, so we can remove them first of all. So let's make that decision. Let's get rid of them. Tell you what, I'm good at this shaky hammer cam. I should go into horror movies. Right, so we need to take this section off because it's right at the base completely now. And then underneath we have this section growing down. Let's just get them out of the way. Let's get it gone. Right, so we make a decision. Do we grow off the branch, or do we grow a completely separate branch? Let's pull out and have a look on the background. I suppose it completely depends on which one your front is. I'll tell you what, I'm going to leave it for now, and then I'll make the decision later on. Let's continue moving into this mess up here. Let's get rid of these dead bits. Okay, let's start with cutting these dead bits out. So this bit is pretty chunky. What a shame losing all this tree. Just goes to show that some of these garden centres don't really either, I wouldn't say well, they do neglect them, but it's the fact that they don't have the knowledge and the people in the right places to look after them. And half the time it's not their fault really, you know, just the same way that when we're given these trees from these places, we're provided the information sheets, and all the information on them are wrong. Like, they've sold to us are indoor trees, or they're sold as the wrong tree, especially when we get the Chinese elms that are sold to us as a Japanese elm, Salcova, and they're the completely wrong tree. Like, they sell them as that to get bypass the imports. So they're starting off as a completely wrong tree with the wrong information to provide adequate care, and then this is the sort of thing that happens. You know, you can't provide the adequate care, and it's the same with in the garden centres. Like, the people don't know how to care for them proper, and then this happens. So yeah, what do you expect? Right, so this is probably going to be the leader. It's already the one that's, you know, showing the most promise. It's the strongest out there already. I mean, we could possibly use, I can't see anything with the glare, so we could have it over this way in this direction, swing it onto the side, and we've got the chop on this side. We do need to neaten it up. I think we'll let that big one grow though for the time being, possibly. It's the strongest one out of them. This one here, at the back, copper everywhere with this camera. Gonna get in, you can see I've got two coming from the same bit. Get rid of these. Now, with it being October, and I did say it was really hot, I've just got a notification on my phone camera here to tell me it's too hot, and I've got a warning to say it's going to shut down. So I'll keep an eye on it, and hopefully we'll get this done before it gets too hot. So you can see what I'm doing as I'm just going through and selecting just to make sure the single branch is coming out. That way I can let these grow, and then later on I can then decide on which branch I would like to keep as they start growing up and developing. What I don't want is mass branches. So I'm just trying to just creep inside. I don't want that one there. I don't want that one there. Let's remove this big bulge. So let's remove these little whips here on the top. In fact, I'm going to remove this big one, this long shoot going up. And what I will do is I'll develop this as my leader, just to give me some taper. Oh, I hope I haven't ruined that now. Damn it. See if I can put that back on and keep it in. I've just nipped it. Hopefully it doesn't die off. So this big swell in here, right in front, I'm going to try and nibble that down. Just there. That should do. I hope. Okay, so it's not the greatest looking tree in the world right now. Let's move it back against the white screen so you can see. So we have single branches everywhere. I'm not going to wire them up or anything, but they're all coming from single points. So we've got at the top here, I think this is going to be the new leader as long as it survives. I did nip it at the base, but it seems to be in place, holding, no problems. So there we've got. Moving down, the old branch that died back, we've got one coming off, and then moving outwards, and then underneath it we have one here. So as they start growing, I will pick one and remove one. Out front, just here, have a branch on its own. As we turn around, you can see them two branches properly there. Obviously one of them definitely has to go, either the established branch or that one there, because if that one stays, it's going to swell and it's going to intrude on this one. Come on, it's going to intrude on this one. We've got a branch over here at on the side, up top underneath the main leader we've got a branch developing, and then just on the side of it there is one back there as well, which probably this one will be removed, just because it's so close to the main leader, and then this back one will stay. I've just left them both now for the time being to gain vigour in the tree, so they'll backbud and gain vigour over the winter. Further down we have this one here as well, which will probably end up staying as a back branch, and then towards the bottom we've got this one as well. Yeah. So that's how she looks. Bit bare, but the bones and structure are setting in already. I think this one's probably gonna go. Maybe. I think it all depends on which way I'll go for the front. If I have this as the front, or somewhere I see it, these lead into the bar branches either way, so both of them could end up disappearing. But if we go there as the front, that one disappears, and this one comes down, which is more likely because the tree looks just thicker. I mean, it doesn't look as thick on camera, but it's still thicker, and it looks thicker in person. Somewhat, yeah. In fact, I think that's probably going to be my front, and I'll probably pot it up as such. Somewhere like that. I don't know, we'll see. Okay, let's make an effort at getting it out of this crappy soil, because yeah, as soon as we get it out of that soil and let it start establishing in the new soil, we should see some real growth. Well, let's take a look at these roots. Get this out of this nasty soil. Oh, you can just see how soggy that is. This soil's all squishy and minging. Let's put this pot to one side. Let's start raking this out. As always, from the base, we'll go in laterally, straight out. That way, if the roots are crossing and binding, we can just tease them, like this one here. We can pull. There we go. It's not gonna drag them. Yeah, so we've got some crossing roots here. So I've got a root here, and I can see it goes right across. This root looks to be dead. So this is the root here. So it goes right across, straight through. But we'll deal with that in a bit. Let's try and get as much mud out as we can. The good thing with this soil is I have been watering it, so it is quite loose. It's not compacted too much. So there's this root that comes across here. Let's see here. So this one comes right across. So hopefully if I can pull this one out, we can move that as well. Yes. Oh yes, no problem. But unfortunately, by pulling this, I've just ripped this one in half. Hopefully I can get the rest of it. Yes. So hopefully, even though I've just pulled that in half, that should hopefully stay together. where does that actually come from? So if you can see, this actually comes from in here. So we're going to be losing that. It comes from right in here. So I'm going to snip that away. There we go. The one root's coming from the inside. This one has actually got more root as well. So there we go. So hopefully we can direct that downwards. Oh, we've got more tree actually coming from. Look at this. Comes further down. So the tree is actually going to be taller. So I'm going to continue raking this out. We're going to discover more tree. So it looks like this tree has actually got more of an S to it, which goes further down. And the base is more like down here. So if I move you outwards, so hang on, just let me bring you up a little bit. So the tree itself is there. Can you see? So it's down at the bottom here. Right, so let me just go and wash these roots out and we'll come back. So this is what I seem to be left with. It now puts me in an awkward situation because my roots are just seem to be everywhere. I mean, look at this. So I think what I'm just going to do is remove this big fat one here. Everything here, everything seems to be quite radial, more or less. I need to give that a bit more washing out. But that's pretty radial, so that's fine. I can get that on a flat plane. But the issue I've got are these main fat roots here. This one's fine. This one's quite malleable. This main one here, so this one's. But this is all fused together. So I think what I'm going to be doing is taking part, or at least some section of this off, because it all links up to this bit too much, because this is going to have to go on a flat plane, and then this needs moving, and then if I move it, it's too rigid. So I think the inside section is going to have to go. So I'm going to cut that. It's not perfect, but I'm just going to move it out of the way. I'll try and get in flush. Come on. have to get my other set of tools on that in a second. Right, so that removes one. Let me zoom you out a little second. There we go. This moves, this needs moving as well. So if I can just bend that over and then move this over as well. This is going to go down. So everything's just too straight. So I think I might just clip them off. Just start again. It's a shame to do it. There we go. So if I can just unfuse these two, just get rid of that. I need to put a bit of oil on these. Sticking. There we go, that's better. So we've kept one root. They're nice and flexible now, them two roots. This root here, I think we'll lose this one as well. Try and neaten this up best we can. In the future we can always grow new aerial roots, no drama. So, them aside, we've got two aerial roots here that we will try and keep. And then this aerial root here, it wasn't really an aerial root, they are proper roots. They are going, because we are now going lower with the root system. Just going to give it one more wash. I'm going to get a toothbrush on it as well, because we've still got dirt and all sorts of garbage just on this section here, so I want to clean that up as best as I can. And then I want to get the rest of the dirt from inside this section here, and I want to get more of a radial surface, get them roots flowing outwards, so when we get it down into the soil we've got a nice radial nibari to start working with. And then we will position these nice roots in the right position in the pot, ready to go. I do need to try and shape that a little bit better. One more nibble. That'll do. Right, one more quick wash. So we've looked at the root system at the bottom, and I've got a massive hole at the bottom, so it must have died right in. But it is all nice and flat. Radial, it's all coming from the outside, so that's a good thing. Aerial roots are now nice and bendy. We've got a few aerial roots here, so we want to plant this up. We can plant it up and then move these outwards. So let's get the pot over and we will do that. Now I've got the planting angle somewhat like this. So as you can see, if I'm looking on, we've got the main trunk in the back corner, so it's diagonal on. The aerial roots come from this spot here, so the one goes to the left here, then splits into two, and then the other one sort of diagonals off towards to the right, and then curls round, goes over this way. The whole tree itself goes over to the front diagonally. So for now, that's how we're going to have it, and then hopefully this will grow out that way. We have accidentally snapped this one at the top, so yeah, that's coming off. It's not very stable in the pot as yet, so we're just going to fill it up. So I'll put you on, let you watch that, and then we'll fill in all the air pockets, and we should put a few stones around it just to keep it in place. Now she's loosely tied in. That's the best I can do at the moment, because the roots themselves, well, the roots are, well, they're everywhere, as you can see. So the main one, so all these are coming from the aerial roots rather than the actual trunk itself. So the trunk ones are all in and under, coming up a little bit. So put you on and you can watch. Let's get you on the stand, and we'll fill in now. So we're getting these nice and distributed in all the roots, making sure there's no air pockets. So there's plenty of roots in this section that we do need to get all the air pockets out, as you can see. I'm hoping you can see. There's plenty of stones falling in. All the soil's going into all the air pockets. Now in this soil mix I do have some sphagnum moss in there as well, all shredded up, so that'll help promote all the new roof growth. Right, she's not completely stable, but as soon as we give her a water she's going to be a bit more stable, and then I'll just add a few stones in there as well, help her out. Alright, once we watered her in, we'll come right back. So after all said and done, she's in the pot, pretty sturdy, looking something like this. So she's not the prettiest, she's a funny angled one. So yeah, we'll see what she can do. This probably needs coming something wiring maybe this way, but I think all I'm going to do for now, let her recover, let her grow. Let's get you over here a little bit. So yeah, sorry, a bit jarring. So yeah, so all these branches, I know they're in everywhere, but for now we're just going to let her recover So yes, so she looks a little something like this. This one I did snap off, so let's just get rid of her. So yeah, so this one's probably going to be the new leader. Let her grow up. This one we need to let her grow out this way, maybe wire this way. Hopefully she's going to grow some more branches down here a lot lower. We can do something with her, but for now, yeah, we'll let her recuperate and see what happens. We'll get some on the back, hopefully. A lot more growth, but she's alive, kicking, and we're doing well considering the state she was in and the rescue mission we've performed. She's in a new pot. I did also put a bit of moss down for her that was in the garden, so hopefully I can keep her nice and moist in the indoor setup we've got. Humidity levels and the moss should replicate and cover that. If not, no harm, no foul, but it's free moss, and hopefully we'll get a nice carpet by the time she comes out in the summer next year. And next time we see her, she'll be flush with even more growth, and I'm looking forward to see what happens with this one. But it's a rescue mission success so far. Anyway peeps, that's a really sunny 8th of October. I mean, the sun's starting to go in now. It's getting pretty late on in the day. But yeah, what did you think of my little rescue mission? Thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Give me a sub, you know, helps the channel grow. Anyway, who wants to see where it goes? Let me know. Leave a comment down below. See you in the next one, peeps. Bye!